Most people think drooping leaves mean the plant needs water. They see those soft, downward-pointing leaves and immediately reach for the watering can. But a thirsty plant and a drowning plant can look almost identical. If you guess wrong, you won't save your plant. You'll finish what you started. And later in this video, I'll show you one signal that almost every plant owner gets completely backwards, and it's costing them the plant they love most. Have you ever walked into the room and noticed your plant's leaves hanging lower than yesterday, softer at the base, almost like they've given up? Most people assume this means dehydration, that the plant is begging for a drink. But when a plant is truly thirsty, its leaves curl inward at the edges, trying to conserve moisture. If your plant's leaves are drooping but still flat, you're not looking at thirst, you're looking at root stress. Here's the science. Healthy roots create turgor pressure. Water fills plant cells until they're firm, keeping leaves upright. When roots are damaged from overwatering or compacted soil, they can't generate that pressure anymore. The leaves collapse because the delivery system is broken. And here's what almost nobody talks about. Your plant can sit in soaking wet soil and still show drought stress. Wet soil doesn't mean the roots can drink. If those roots are suffocating in waterlogged conditions, they're functionally dead. The plant is dying of thirst in a flood. If you respond to drooping leaves by watering more, you won't save the plant. You'll accelerate the very process you're trying to stop. Check the soil 2 inches down with your finger. If it's wet or damp, step back for 72 hours. If the pot feels heavy, check the drainage holes. If water isn't flowing freely, you have a drainage problem, not thirst. Your plant was already telling you. Now you know how to listen. 2. Have you ever seen your plant's leaves start pointing downward overnight, like they're bowing toward the floor but the stems are still green? Most plant owners think this is stress, but that downward tilt isn't random. It's called nyctinisty. Certain plants like prayer plants and calatheas move their leaves in response to light cycles. At night, the leaves fold or tilt downward to conserve moisture. At the base of each leaf is a joint called a pulvinus. It's packed with motor cells that swell or shrink based on water pressure. When light fades, potassium ions move out, water follows, the joint relaxes. The leaf tilts. It's not dying. It's sleeping. And here's what most people miss. If your plant stops doing this movement, that's when you should worry. A prayer plant with motionless leaves isn't calming down. It's too weak to function. The movement is health. The stillness is the warning. If you panic and repot a plant responding to its natural rhythm, you'll create real stress where there was none. Observe the pattern for 3 days. Does the movement happen at dawn and dusk? If yes, do nothing. If the leaves stay frozen, check soil, light, and temperature. Something is suppressing its ability to move. That downward tilt wasn't a cry for help. It was proof of life. 3. Have you ever noticed your plant's lower leaves turning downward while the top stays perky? Most people see this as the plant dying from the bottom up. But older leaves naturally senesce. That's planned aging. As your plant grows new leaves, it pulls nutrients like nitrogen from older leaves and redirects them upward. Those bottom leaves are being sacrificed so younger growth can thrive. Plants operate on an energy budget. If old leaves are shaded and aren't photosynthesizing efficiently, the plant does a cost-benefit analysis. It triggers ethylene, which signals the leaf to break down chlorophyll and reabsorb nutrients. The downward droop is part of that shutdown. And here's what almost nobody talks about. This isn't failure. It's a sign your plant is healthy enough to grow and strategic enough to prioritize. If you cut off every yellowing leaf the moment it droops, you're interrupting nutrient reabsorption. The plant was pulling nitrogen back into its system, and you just threw that resource away. You're making your plant pay twice, once to build the leaf and again to replace the nutrients. Let the leaf finish its process. Wait until it's fully yellow and comes off with no resistance. That's when the plant has taken everything it needed. That yellowing leaf wasn't a failure, it was a transaction. And hey, if you've ever looked at your plant and felt like something was off but couldn't figure out what, Hit like and subscribe. Let's make sure more plant owners learn these signals before it's too late. 4. Have you ever seen your plant's leaves droop only on one side like it's leaning toward the floor while the other side looks fine? Most owners rotate the pot, thinking the plant needs to balance. But that one-sided droop is a directional response. Plants grow toward light through phototropism. Cells on the shaded side elongate faster, causing the plant to bend. But when leaves droop on the side away from light, it's not bending, it's giving up. Leaves are solar panels, and they're expensive to maintain. If a leaf isn't getting enough light to photosynthesize efficiently, it becomes a net loss. The plant reduces water pressure to that leaf and eventually drops it. It's cutting its losses. And here's what people miss. Rotating doesn't fix the problem. It just moves the losing side to a new position. You're forcing the plant to constantly restart a process it's trying to complete. The plant knows where the light is. The problem is there isn't enough of it. If you keep rotating in low light, you'll end up with drooping on all sides. Move the plant closer to the light source. Don't rotate it. Let it stabilize in one orientation for 2 weeks before rotating. Give it a chance to build strong growth first, then introduce rotation once a month. Your plant wasn't confused. It was starving. 5. Have you ever touched your plant's drooping leaves and noticed they feel cold? Not room temperature, but actually cool, even though the air feels fine. Most people don't register this as a clue. They assume the plant is near a window or vent. But cold leaves are a thermal stress signal, and they mean your plant's metabolism has slowed to a crawl. Most tropical houseplants evolved where nighttime temperatures rarely dropped below 60 degrees. When temps fall into the 50s, photosynthesis and water transport start to fail. The plant can't generate enough energy to maintain turgor pressure. The leaves droop because the cells are too cold to stay inflated. Temperature affects enzyme activity, the catalysts that power everything inside plant cells. When it's too cold, those enzymes move slower. Water uptake slows, pressure drops, leaves sag. And here's what almost nobody talks about. Your plant can be warm during the day and suffer cold stress at night. If your plant is near a window or exterior wall, it's experiencing temperature drops you never feel because you're asleep. That drafty window you barely notice. Your plant is living in a refrigerator for 8 hours every night. If you ignore cold stress and keep watering normally, you're compounding the damage. Cold roots can't absorb water efficiently, so it sits in soil, increasing rot risk. Move the plant away from windows at night. Use a thermometer to track the actual temperature in the plant's location. If temps drop below 60, relocate the plant or add heat. Stop watering as frequently in cold conditions. The plant needs less because it's using less. That chill wasn't harmless. It was a shutdown signal. Now, this is the one I mentioned at the beginning. The signal most owners completely misread. Have you ever seen your plant's leaves droop after you watered it? Not before, but immediately after. And felt that panic you just made everything worse. Most people think they've overwatered or shocked the plant. But post-watering droop often means your plant's roots were bone dry too long. When soil becomes hydrophobic, meaning it repels water, water runs straight through without hydrating the root ball. You see water in drainage holes and assume the plant drank, but the roots never touched a drop. The plant droops after watering because it's still thirsty. Dry soil loses its ability to bond with water molecules. When you pour water onto hydrophobic soil, it finds the path of least resistance, the gap between soil and pot, and channels straight out. The root ball stays dry. The plant wilts, not because you watered, but because you didn't actually water. And here's what people miss. This is fixable, but not by watering more. If you pour another cup onto hydrophobic soil, you'll just create runoff. If you panic and stop watering entirely, the soil gets drier and more hydrophobic. The next time you water, the problem will be worse. You're creating a cycle of deprivation because you misread the signal. Bottom water. Place the pot in a basin and let the soil wick moisture up for 20 minutes. This forces the root ball to rehydrate from the inside out, or water very slowly in stages. Add a small amount, wait 5 minutes, add more. Break the hydrophobic barrier instead of fighting it. Your plant wasn't rejecting your care. It was showing you the care never arrived. Your plant has been in that corner for months, maybe years. It's been bending toward light you couldn't see, but you're here now, and that changes everything.